You wake up in a soft bed. The sun is warm, the room is quiet, and your phone screen glows with messages from people who care. You have a job, you have friends, you have things that most people in this world would trade everything for. And yet, there's this strange heaviness in your chest. Not sadness, not anger, just nothing. Like you're a character in a movie, watching your own life from the outside. You laugh at a joke, but it feels forced. You tick things off your to-do list, but there's no spark. You meet people, but the conversations feel like they're happening on the other side of a glass wall. No one talks about it, but this feeling, this quiet emptiness, is more common than you think. And the scariest part? It doesn't care how much money you have, how many followers you collect, or how perfect your Instagram feed looks. It just sits there in the background, like a shadow you can't shake off. Today we're going to talk about that shadow, where it comes from, why it shows up when your life should feel complete, and how, sometimes, the search for more can be the very thing that keeps you feeling less. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear might not just explain the emptiness you feel, it might finally give you the map out of it. You know, emptiness rarely announces itself. It doesn't kick down the door and scream, "I'm here." It's quieter than that. It seeps in slowly, like water finding tiny cracks in the walls of your mind. At first, you don't even notice. You're busy, working, scrolling, meeting deadlines, texting back, planning the next thing. Life is moving. You're moving. But deep down, something inside you is standing perfectly still. And one day, maybe while you're sipping coffee in your kitchen or driving home with music playing, you suddenly notice it. This dull, grey fog sitting inside you. You can't tell if you're bored, tired, or just done. Here's the thing. Most people assume emptiness comes from lack. No job, no money, no love, no friends. But you know better, because you have those things. And yet, that's when the confusion hits. If I have everything I thought I wanted, why do I feel nothing? The truth is, emptiness isn't always about what's missing outside you. It's about what's missing inside you. You can fill your calendar, your closet, even your bank account. But if the spaces inside your heart and mind go untouched, they stay empty, no matter how much you pile around them. Maybe your life is so full of things that it's empty of meaning. Maybe you've been chasing the idea of happiness so hard, you forgot to notice the moments that actually bring it. And here's the uncomfortable part. Sometimes you've been ignoring the voice inside you for so long, it doesn't even bother speaking anymore. That's when the silence gets loud. We all have a checklist in our heads. You know the one. The silent script we're handed by parents, teachers, society, movies, and every Instagram post telling us what a good life looks like. Get a stable job, have a nice home, find love, build a family, make enough money, go on vacations, look happy while doing it. And when you check all the boxes, you're supposed to feel complete, right? That's the deal. That's the unspoken promise. But here's the thing they don't tell you. You can check every single box on that list and still wake up feeling like your life doesn't belong to you. You see, checklists are tricky. They're not built for you. They're built for the version of you that other people expect. And that's where the emptiness seeps in. Because when your life becomes about meeting expectations rather than meeting yourself, something essential goes missing. It's not that the achievements are fake. Your job is real, your relationship is real, your home is real, but the connection between those things and you, that's what's missing. I've met people who've climbed corporate ladders, bought beautiful houses, driven expensive cars, and they still lie awake at night wondering, why does it all feel like someone else's life? It's because success without alignment is like eating without tasting. You're going through the motions, but the soul stays hungry. And the dangerous part, the world applauds you for it. No one warns you that ticking the boxes might be the very thing keeping you from asking the most important question, is this even my list? Let's be honest, emptiness is uncomfortable. It's not like sadness where you can cry it out. It's not like anger where you can explode and feel some relief. Emptiness just sits there, silent, heavy, unreadable. And because we hate discomfort, we get really creative at avoiding it. We scroll, we binge watch, we shop, we plan trips we don't actually want to go on. We eat when we're not hungry. We stay busy just to avoid being alone with our thoughts. It works. For a while, numbing is a master of disguise. It feels like you're living when really you're just distracting. But here's the hidden cost. Every time you numb, you teach yourself that silence is dangerous, that stillness is unbearable, that the truth inside you is too scary to face. And so the gap inside you widens. You get more achievements, more clothes, more likes, more trips. But none of it touches the root. It's like pouring water into a cup with a hole at the bottom. The emptiness just keeps swallowing it whole. Some of us even make the mistake of thinking a bigger distraction will fix it. A new relationship, a career change, moving to another city. But what happens? The emptiness packs its bags and comes with you, because the truth is, emptiness isn't outside, it's inside. Here's the scary part. If you avoid it for too long, you forget who you were before the numbing began. You become a stranger in your own skin. You laugh at jokes you don't find funny. You agree to plans you don't want. You live a life that's technically yours, but feels rented. And one day you might even look in the mirror and ask, when did I stop being me? Emptiness isn't always empty. Sometimes it's a voice, quiet, almost a whisper. But it's there. And if you stop running long enough, you might hear it. It doesn't speak in full sentences. It speaks in feelings. In that sinking pit in your stomach when you walk into work. In that tightness in your chest when you say, I'm fine, but you're not. In the way you avoid certain memories because they hurt too much to revisit. That's not nothing. That's your truth trying to break through the noise, okay? But here's the problem. We've been trained to silence that voice. We call it weakness. We call it laziness. We tell ourselves we should just be grateful and stop overthinking. So we push it down. We drown it with podcasts, playlists, coffee dates, endless to-do lists. And the voice doesn't fight you. It waits. It waits until you're too tired to pretend. It waits until a night when you're lying in bed and the laughter from earlier suddenly feels hollow. It waits until you have a quiet moment, and then it whispers, this isn't where you're supposed to be. That's the part most people miss. Emptiness isn't always a curse. Sometimes it's a compass. It's not there to punish you. It's there to tell you that something in your life is out of alignment. Maybe it's the job that pays you well but drains your soul. Maybe it's the relationship where you're always giving but never receiving. Maybe it's the dream you abandoned because it wasn't practical. The voice inside you is not your enemy. It's the part of you that remembers who you were before the world told you who to be. The question is, will you keep ignoring it? Or will you stop, listen, and let it guide you back home? Because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to hear it at all. You've been told your whole life that happiness is something you chase, that it's out there, in a better job, a bigger house, a perfect partner, more money, more recognition. And maybe you've caught some of those things. But here's the strange part. The moment you finally have them, there's still a strange hollowness in the pit of your stomach. A whisper that says, this still isn't it. The truth? That whisper is right. Because you can't fill an internal emptiness with external things. You can decorate the outside of your life, yes. But if the inside is neglected, it will always echo. So what actually fills the void? Not more, but meaning. Not louder, but deeper. Not chasing 100 different things, but giving yourself fully to the few that matter. Sometimes that means saying no to the safe life you've built and taking the risk you've been avoiding. Sometimes it means finally telling the truth to someone or to yourself. Sometimes it means slowing down instead of speeding up. The people who feel truly alive aren't always the richest or the most successful on paper. They're the ones who wake up knowing what they're living for. And maybe that's the question you've been avoiding. What are you living for? Not what you were told to want. Not what looks impressive on Instagram. Not what keeps everyone around you comfortable. But you. The real you. Here's the hard truth. No one is coming to fill the emptiness for you. Not your partner, not your job, not the applause. That's your work. And it begins the moment you stop running and start listening. Because the void is not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's a sign that something important is missing. And when you find it, not only will the emptiness fade, it will become the space where your truest life finally has room to grow.